Peace, family. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism, here to review Fast and Furious 6. Now, Fast and Furious 6 is the follow up to the last installment that I actually liked, which is Fast and Furious 5. Hated the first Fast and Furious, never liked it, never liked the premise, thought the premise was stupid and ridiculous, and didn't like the last three movies after that. So for the first part two, three, and four, hated it. Part five was actually good. And the reason why I think it's good is because the director Lin basically came to the same conclusion that I did, that this premise is completely ridiculous and over the top. So why do we take ourselves so seriously? Let's just treat it as such and do it in a campy way and appeal to a broad audience. And we know that our people that come to see our movies want to see action. They want to see car chases and crashes and explosions and whatever. So we know this. Let's do it, and let's stop trying to make high art out of this, and let's just do what we do best. And when he did that, it really upped the ante on the franchise and really made me like it. I'll be somewhat emotionally invested into it, and it's executed well. And part six upped the ante from part five. And to me, of all the movies I've seen this summer, it's in the slight lead as the best movie of the summer, action wise, and just as a movie in general. For good summer entertainment, this one is first, slightly edging out Star Trek, and then Iron Man third. Now, the premise of this movie is Hobbs, the character played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, approaches Dominic Toretto and shows him a photo of his previously dead girlfriend, Letty. Of course, since Dominic thinks that Letty's dead, he's really curious now to try to find out whether she's still alive. At the same time, he's going to help Hobbs help overcome the bad guy in the film. And the bad guy did an adequate job. He presented a formidable challenge, and that's all you really need. You just need somebody that can challenge the lead guy, which is Dominic, and that's what this guy did. I'm failing to know his name, but that's more on me. I'm bad with names, so it's no reflection on the guy who played the bad guy. He was good for what it was. And their crew, the bad guy's crew, sort of like mirrored Dominic Toretto's crew. They had aspects of he had the same makeup as Dominic's crew, so it was a good parallel. So that was the whole point. Dominic's going back to get Letty and try to see what's going on with her. And at the same time, he's trying to help Hobbs take down the bad guy and his crew. So that's the whole story in a nutshell. No need to go any further. If all that ensues after that is pure action, a lot of amazing practical effects. So when you see a car flipping, it's not a CGI car flipping, it's an actual car flipping over another car. And that's what really made me appreciate the action in this movie, because it's easy to say, oh, it had action. But a lot of movies have action in their special effects and CGI. It is very difficult to do practical effects, especially when you're talking about with cars. And because, I mean, you're risking real death and injury with that stuff. And they were doing a lot of crazy stuff with cars. Like there's a tank scene on the highway where the guy is literally running over cars. There's cars flipping through buildings, cars flipping off I mean, you got a scene at the end where they have this huge cargo airplane with I mean, spectacular action sequence with that. I mean, it's just a lot of real intricate action filmmaking. And it shouldn't be taken for granted that the job that this guy did, Lynn, on presenting the action to the audience. It was funny. It was action packed from beginning to end. I mean, this thing like it hit the drive button and never stopped moving. And at the end of the movie, um, let me not get ahead of myself. One thing that I do note, and that's notable in this movie, is that there was the loss of two characters. If you remember in part five, there was a girl and the Asian guy in the crew who got together as a couple. In this movie, both of them die. The Asian girl dies during the sequence with the Asian girl. No, the girl of the girlfriend of the Asian guy. She dies during the airplane sequence at the end, saving his life. Then once the movie is over, a little bit time passes. This is like in the scene after the movie ends. Some time passes and he goes back to Tokyo because that's where they wanted to go. When she was alive, she said she wanted to go to Tokyo. So he goes back there and you see him competing in some drag race out in the street. And then out of nowhere, he gets hit and blindsided by this German car. So his car flips over, is on his back. He's up hanging upside down and gasoline is dripping. And then out of the car comes Mr. Jason Statham. He picks up the cell phone and calls Dominic Toretto and says, Dominic Toretto, you don't know me, but soon you will. And then he blows up the car with the Asian dude in it. And that's how the movie ends. Very satisfying from beginning to end. I'm just kind of shocked that they knocked those two characters off like that. But um, it was a great movie experience. Great time at the movies. And so far, the number one movie in terms of crowd pleasing that I've seen this year has been Fast and Furious 6. There's still more to come. So we'll see how it goes. But that's my review of Fast and Furious 6. Hope you like it. Hope you go and see it. And let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Be on the lookout for my review of Star Trek. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to do that for you. And I will holler at you good people later. Peace.